Maybe we're just not ready for life in the fast lane. Hello lovely people of YouTube and welcome back to Mark on Life. Before we start, I just want to thank everybody who watched last week's episode of Reeltrospectives, which was Power Rangers. An old school classic turned into a new movie. So it was really fun to do. If you haven't watched it, I'll put a link in the description and at the end. Today's vlog is going to be a simple, thinky rant type thing. After the horrific events in Westminster the other day, I think it makes you think about life and what it means to you, and some good things can come out of something so horrible. And for me, it got me thinking about the way we live life at the moment. Now, we know we live in a very social media, crazy, fast-paced, obsessed life, particularly in the city. And at the moment, I've been thinking, is that how we were meant to be? Human beings of our sort of current state, Homo sapiens, have been around for, approximately 200,000 years-ish. And so we've got 200,000 years of development and evolution. In fact, just so we remember that number, because it's a huge amount of time, I'm going to put it there. 200,000 years. Because also it's an amount of time that we can't really comprehend. Our entire lifetime is about 70, 80 years. When we think about, historical figures, Henry VIII, Caesar, whatever, we're really only talking hundreds of years, even 1,000 years. So 200,000 years is pretty difficult for us to think about. Now think about the digital age. Specifically the communications age. So the two things that are most applicable with that are mobile phones and the internet. So mobile phones are approximately, as with all these things, they date back way further, but I'm talking about the time when everybody had one. Yes, you could go right back to the 50s and before to the first iterations, but it was about the mid-90s where people started to have phones. And the same with the internet. Yes, you could go right back to the 50s and then the sort of military applications and then the internet sort of coming, the birth of it. But in terms of everybody having a browser, again, about mid-90s. So we're talking about 20-ish years, 20 to 30 years, where these two things were around. And then even more so, social media, we're talking less than 10 years now. So now we're looking back here, 200,000 years, and of all that human history, these things have only been around for 20 to 30 years of it. A tiny fraction of our evolution. And when you think about it, how many ideas did we used to think about at one time? For the rest of the entirety of human history, before the internet and mobile phones, and now, particularly now, social media. One. Maybe two. If you're watching TV, maybe a couple at a time, adverts and this and that. But mainly, you talk to another person, either on the phone, in real life, one idea at a time. One thing at a time. But now it's very different. When you scroll through your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, suddenly you have hundreds of ideas. Just one scroll through and you've got opinion, thought, rant, joke, this, that, watch my video, do this, political, all sorts of stuff within a space of seconds. So many things. And it gets me thinking, is that what we're supposed to do? Because you can tell people now are reacting badly to it. It's changed the way we are. Now, obviously, we are capable because there are many people, myself included, who are what I would consider a well-adjusted human being in this situation. But it's definitely changed how I think. It's definitely made it a lot more stressful and stuff crammed into your brain. And that's why I think a lot of people crave simplicity now. Particularly if you have a very stressful job, you crave simple pleasures like, gardening or woodwork. And people do de-stressing things a lot, like yoga, meditation. Now, before the internet, before phones and social media, were those things so necessary? Maybe. I don't know. I wasn't around, 70, 80, 100, 200 years ago, but I doubt it. Obviously there were stresses of a different kind, but not these kinds. I don't think teenagers, a couple of 100 years ago would have needed to do yoga and meditation to de-stress themselves, because it's our generation that have caused this mental stress on ourselves by constantly needing our brains to be activated. And I think it also has an effect on our body, because I was speaking to somebody recently about the fact that our body may not be developed or evolved to travel as we do now. Again, how long have cars been around? Not that long compared to 200,000 years. So for 99.99999% of that time, our bodies never travelled faster than as fast as they could go. Walking and running, jumping. That's it. That's how fast we moved for 99% of that time. It's only this tiny fraction of time that we're now going at 50, 60, 100 miles an hour. That's why it causes a lot of oxidation, and we require antioxidants to sort of reverse that process. But maybe we weren't supposed to. And so it's got me thinking of the ways that I can reverse that process in myself, and to sort of up the importance of them, up the importance of de-stressing, maybe cutting back on social media, turning it off completely. That's going to be almost impossible, but at least maybe doing things that reverse that process, to do meditation, or because I find it so difficult to just sit these days. If I'm sitting, I think I should be reading, should be working, should be doing this, should be doing... No. Why is it impossible for people these days to just sit and think and just be? They can't. There's always something to watch, look at, read, whatever it might be, experience on the iPad, on the phone, on this. Why can't we just take 10 seconds out to just be? Well, that was a bit serious, wasn't it? So I'm going to counterbalance that now with me making a total knob out of myself with some bloopers. Everybody loves outtakes, so here are some outtakes from the Power Rangers episode. Enjoy. Monster rocks up, bit of karate, Ranger weapons out, he supersizes, out with the Zords, mash them together into Megazord, bish bash bosh. Start making noises. That's fun. This costume is really fun to wear, by the way. It's really fun. Haven't been to the toilet in 4 hours. Sorry about that. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot the same bit. Oh fuck, I almost fell in the toilet. That's a good blooper. Almost fell in the fucking toilet. The things I do to make one person potentially fucking laugh. Look at me! Look at me! Dressed like a Power Ranger. I'm 35 years old! That's wet. That's nice. Monster rocks up. Fuck's sake. Yeah, well, for some bizarre reason, Zordon, in his infinite wisdom, decided that in order for us to bond as a team, we're going to have to spend every day to... Fuck's sake. Monster rocks up. Oh, fuck's sake. So hard. I don't remember any of it. I wrote it. The embarrassment of not being able to remember a script you wrote yourself. Do you think our mind is supposed to be able to deal with these things, or do you crave simplicity as well? Do you think things have changed, or have they always been this way, just in a different form? Let me know in the comments below and we can discuss. There'll be another vlog next week, and then an episode of Reeltrospectives the week after. So from me, Mark on Life, I'll speak to you soon.